Hi everyone, so my name is Melissa Rodriguez. I'm a current senior at Roger Williams University. I'm an elementary education major with dance and English minors. I'm also a transfer student, so I'll probably talk about that a little bit on my tour. But today I'm just going to walk us all around campus so you all can get a visual of what it looks like, give you some key information, all of that type of stuff. So as we're walking along this way, I'm just going to talk about our School of Law. Currently we are the only law school in Rhode Island, therefore we are the best one. We have lots of different programs that combine with different undergraduate majors, such as business law. We have some that combine with psychology, different things like that to get you into the into the law school. And then we also have our education school underneath. We have educational studies, elementary education, and secondary education, which is where I am. So lots of different majors and experiences in that building. All right, so right now we are in our recreational center. So there's lots of things in here having to do with student involvement, sports, anything that can get the students in some sort of engagement activity. As a freshman, you'll be involved in something called 30 Days of Welcome. So there's be some sort of activity to do every night and day of while you're here. During that time, there's lots of different events, different clubs introducing themselves to campus for, once again, another year, and lots of other things going on to just get you involved in campus. There's also two major, basically, freshman events that are going to occur. One of them is going to be going down to Newport. All of the freshmen are going to get on some buses. You all head down there. It's absolutely gorgeous down there on a day that's really nice out, and you guys get to all hang out, eat some lunch, things like that. And then there's also another trip that you guys go to Target, close down the nearest Target for freshman Roger students. Basically, you pick up everything you forgot, which is super fun. There's like a DJ, there's raffles, things like that, and it's another way just to get to know the community that you're in. During that time, there's also going to be an involvement fair where we do display basically our over 70 clubs here that we have on our campus. Basically, they each get a table, get a sign-up sheet. You can sign up for whatever like meetings or like email, any types of notifications you want to get from them. So it's really awesome just to be able to see everything that we have on our campus to have for you. We also have a large spring week that we have. So we have a carnival, concert, comedian, things like that. We have some of the people that we've had come here displayed up on our walls. But basically, last year we had, for our concert, we had Jesse McCartney and Lupe Fiasco, and along with our comedian, we had the Wild and Out crew. And the year before that, we've had other people like A$AP Ferg and Pete Davidson. So we have a variety of people coming to our campus just to show everyone what's all about and just give our students some sort of like fun experience as well. And that's in the spring, like I said. But other than that, in this specific building, we have a few other things in here. On this side, we have our WQRI, so we have our own radio station. So if you are interested in having a talk show or some sort of like music channel, you'd be able to do that here. Behind me, we also have our Hawk's Nest. Basically, it's going to be a grab and go station for our students. I know it's closed right now, but basically it's a really great spot to grab like smoothies and healthy snacks, things like that, that you can use your Hawk dollars with, which I'll talk a little bit about later as well. Also in our recreational center, we have lots of things in here involving sports. We are a D3 school here. We compete in the Commonwealth Coastal Conference. So obviously, if you're interested in being involved in some sort of Division III sport, we have that here for you. But other than that, we also have club and intramural sports. We have lots of different sports involving club, maybe like our rowing team or our rugby team, things like that. But then for any intramural sports, basically you're interested in some sort of maybe soccer or even dodgeball, different things you can play on your own. That's pretty fun as well. My friends maybe do a basketball intramural sport when I was a freshman here. Obviously, it's really funny for me to basically shoot and then see them laughing at me the whole time. But basically, it's a great way to meet people as well. Before we go anywhere else, basically upstairs, we also do have our own another basketball court, and then we also have a NCAA size pool with a hot tub and sauna for use as well. So right now we are on North Campus, so basically this is going to be a great area for some of our sports events and also for our upperclassmen students. If you can look all the way down that way, we have our North Campus Residence Hall. It's an upperclassmen residence hall for sophomores, juniors, seniors. That is apartment style or suite style living. Basically in an apartment style, you could live with up to maybe 3-4 people. You're going to have a living area, you're going to have a bathroom, a kitchen, all that type of stuff. And then the suite style, basically those things will most likely be doubled, so you could live with maybe 6 or more people. Could be mixed genders as well. Different 2 sets of bathrooms, kitchen, living area, all that stuff. That residence hall is also one of our newest residence halls on campus. It has a Dunkin' Donuts and a convenience store as well that you can use your Hawk dollars with, but just a nice area. There's also an outdoor beach volleyball court, which is really fun for our students, and it's a great place to do homework, study, all that stuff. Also on North Campus, we have our softball and our baseball fields to your left side, and then to your right on the other side of me is actually our turf field. Basically, during when the school year is actually occurring, there's lots of other students in and out of this area watching games, being basically involved in RWU spirit, all the things like that. Now we're gonna walk this way. Right now we are outside of our Global and Community Engagement Center. There's lots of different specific resources in here for getting experiential types of internships, externships, anything like that to get hands-on work in what you may be interested in. One of those things will be our Community Partnership Center. We have lots of different things going on basically in our community. Some of those types of experiences can happen within your classes, and lots of our basically professors, some programs like to partner up with some of our nonprofit organizations in Bristol itself. So maybe in our museums, or sometimes they get research done right on our water, things that can help them get some sort of experience what they want to do. So an example of that, one time I know one of my friends did a project with a graphic design and marketing class, and basically they were able to help the Herreshoff Museum rebrand themselves, so basically rebuilding that business plan and their logo, things like that, and our students were able to work with them on that process. Another office that we're going to have in here is going to be our community service center. So basically there's going to be a lot of things in here having to for our students. So as a Roger Williams student, you do have to complete a certain amount of service hours within your time here. We actually get that done within your first week here. You're going to get that done in the first couple days while you're here, your first Monday before classes start, and basically you all go out into our community, maybe in different areas of Massachusetts, and you're able to complete all of that work within your first days here, which is great. Then we also have our Study Abroad Center in here. Basically, we've been everywhere except for Antarctica, but if you want to go there, you totally can. We have lots of different, basically, centers. We have 2 flagship centers in Florence and 1 in London. And other popular places right now include Australia, Barcelona. I went to Greece as well, so there's so many different types of programs. We have semester-long programs. We also have summer programs. We have winter break programs. We have so many different types of things you can take advantage of. As a student here, I actually did a Greece summer study abroad. I went to Greece for around 3 weeks or so. We studied everywhere over Greece. We traveled everywhere. It was for one class, a senior seminar class, and it was probably one of the best experiences of my life. So really great experiences through here, and they really help you find the right place for you. So now we're just going to head towards this way. So right now we're in our Marine and Natural Sciences building, so there's going to be lots of different majors in this building, but also lots of different things that you're going to be able to take advantage of as a student on this campus. In the Marine and Natural Sciences building, we have majors such as marine biology, aquaculture and aquarium studies. We even have chemistry, biology, we even have physics minors, things like that. There's lots of ways to be able to get involved in our Marine and Natural Sciences school. Other than that, all students are going to have to come into this building at some point because of the core curriculum that we have here. We have 5 core classes that you're going to have to take, and they can happen basically anywhere around campus. Those core classes include a core science class. One of them is going to be in this building, probably down that way. We have our lab areas. But other than that, there's be other courses that you're going to have to take that can be anywhere. The other ones include a Challenges of Democracy, which is a history course, human behaviors, literature and philosophy, and aesthetics, which is kind of like an art history course. And all those classes can be anywhere on campus, taught by many different professors. All those types of basically knowledge are going to help us fulfill that liberal arts education that we have here. Other than that, in this specific building, you're going to have all of your professors in that major within one building. There's going to be some lecture classes down that hallway that we'll pass by. Other than that, there's lots of different resources in here for our students as well. Right now we're going to head downstairs to check out our wet labs for our marine students, maybe from aquarium studies, things like that. We have lots of wet labs that our students are able to get experience in. So we're going to head down that way. All right, so right now we're going to be walking towards our wet labs, which is where a lot of our students are going to get some experiential research done. As a student here in the undergraduate program, you're going to be getting graduate research done at the undergraduate level, which is super important for our students. We don't have any graduate programs here for our marine and natural science majors, but even with all of this research that they're able to have or have access to, they're able to get all of that type of stuff ready for their resumes, future jobs, anything like that, which is really awesome. One of my friends, Allie, is actually a marine bio major here. She's a senior now, but as a entering junior, she was able to start a research project with one of the professors here, got stuff done right in our labs right behind me actually, and was able to combine with other professors in the school from other schools like other universities in Rhode Island as well, and start research on coral reefs. We do a lot of warm water studies here, so that was really awesome for her to be able to do that. And then she took her research and took it to Bermuda on her study abroad experience, which was awesome for her, and now she already has published research at the undergraduate level, and she's only a senior. So that's just some of the things that we get to do here. And right behind me is actually our wet labs. Our students can work in here with different professors. They even have work study positions in here, lots of different engagement opportunities. Like I said, we do a lot of warm water studies here. So one of the experiences that I know about that a lot of our students got to participate in was a study on clownfish. So they were actually able to genetically modify the color that they portray. So kind of like Nemo, orange and white, and now they're black and white in our studies, in our wet labs as well, which is really awesome for our students that they were able to take part in that. As we walk this way, we're actually going to be going towards our shellfish hatchery. We have one of the only shellfish hatcheries in the country on our campus, which is really awesome for our students. So again, more experience, more research, all of those things that we should take part in as a student on our campus. We have a hatchery where basically we have received shellfish from the Mystic Aquarium and from other parts of Rhode Island, and some from even our bay that we have access to. And we rehabilitate, hatch new shellfish, things like that. And then we also have a greenhouse that has algae and different things that they need to sustain life in it. So our students are able to take part in this experience. So we're just going to walk this way. So on my side over here, we have our hatchery, which is where we, again, like I said, our students are going to be working to basically maintain the lives of the shellfish that we have here. And then on my left side, we have our greenhouse. So it looks like some people are going to be in and out of here today. But basically algae, different things they need to sustain life are in here as well. And our students take care of the things that go on in both of these rooms. All right, so right now we're in front of Bayside. Basically, it's going to be an upperclassman living for our mostly juniors and seniors on campus. It's apartment style living. So right now we have 4 sets of them. What we're looking at is our first set in front of us. Basically, each apartment is going to have about double rooms. Some of them have triples as well, so up to 6 people can live in these apartments. There's going to be sets of bathrooms. There's going to be a living area, kitchen area, the whole deal. I actually lived in this first set right in front of us last year. I lived with 3 other girls. We had our own kitchen, bathroom, living area. All laundry facilities are walkable with inside each court area, so you may just have to leave to go to the laundry facilities, but that's okay because each one has its own, which is really helpful. Each set also has 2 RAs, so we always have some sort of residential assistant with us. And then what my favorite part actually about this was the inside court area. There's tables that you can do homework at, just hang out with your friends. There's an open area to like play frisbee or other sports. But my favorite part, there's also charcoal grills in there. So sometimes our neighbors would just like cook hamburgers and we would just take them, which was pretty funny. But it's really fun just to get to know all the people living in the same court as you. Pretty much it. So now we're gonna move on this way. All right, so as we're walking this way, I'm just going to talk about our sailing center, which is to the right of me. Basically, it's one of the buildings on campus that was actually donated to us. Since then, we've taken over the facility since and just made it into a great resource center for our students. We actually have our own platform out there on the water for our marine bio students if they decide to go do some research with a professor, or I even have a friend that had a class that we just went fishing every Friday. Lots of great resources right on our water for those students. We also have our sailing team that's docked out of there. Basically, we compete with lots of D1 schools. It's not a technical division, but basically if you would like to get involved with our sailing team, that's a great opportunity for you here on our campus. And also the U.S. sailing team in general is actually docked out of here as well, which is pretty cool. So they hold some events during the summer for us as well. That area is super nice. There's a nice little dock out there where you can hang out, do homework, just relax. Me and my friends used to watch sunset over there while doing homework, so just a nice place to hang out on campus. All right, so right now we are outside of Global Heritage Hall. We call it GHH here. It's an academic building for tons of majors within our humanities, arts, and education school, but some of them specifically include public relations, graphic design, communications. Some of them are history, languages, lots of different classes happen in this building. Basically, this building was actually built in 2008 and designed by a Roger Williams architecture alumni major, and from an aerial view, it looks like a sailboat. So if you look it up on Google Maps or Google Earth, you'll be able to see it, which is really cool. Now we're gonna head inside. So right now we're inside Global Heritage Hall. Like I said, there's tons of things going on inside this building. If we had some sort of student union, like a place of gathering for all of our students, I would say this would be it. There's so many different things to do while you're in here throughout the day. There's hangout spots, there's tons of tables on the 3 floors that we have here. Sometimes me and my friends will just grab a table and come in and out for the day, doing some sort of like homework, things like that, but it's just a really nice place to just hang out, de-stress with your friends, all of that stuff. We also have a Starbucks in the corner. It's closed right now, but basically that's gonna be my main spot all the time that I'm here for. But other than that, this building is really important just because of its usage. So it's open 24/7, which is really awesome for our students. They're able to just come into any of the classrooms that we have here, use the technology that we have, maybe practice presentations or do group work, anything like that that just really helps our students get their work done, and just, I don't know, it's just a really great space for our students. On our campus, we actually have a connection with Samsung. So the CEO of Samsung America is actually an alumni here, so he's granted us Samsung technology all over campus, in this building, the library, and different schools as well. But basically, there's tons of it in here that our students have access to 24/7. Obviously, our public safety officers are going to be in and out of the buildings all throughout the night, but say you're in here maybe at like 2 a.m., you need to get into one of the classrooms, it'll be open for you to use, and then you'll be surveyed just in case. We're always safe on this campus, so that's just really great things that we have in here. And we also have Mac labs in here and different specific things that you may need for graphic design, maybe any types of programs that you may need, maybe extra resources. We have that in here as well. So now we're just gonna head upstairs and check out our show classroom so you guys can see what the classroom looks like. All right, so right now we are in our show classroom. So obviously there's tons of seats in here, obviously. I always say that this is gonna be the most amount of seats you're gonna see in a classroom because of our small class size that we have here. So we have an actual average class size of around 19. And some of your beginning freshman courses, you may have up to maybe 25, maybe 30 at the most, but not really more than that, just because of the small classroom size that we have here in general, which is really awesome. Coming from a larger university to here, I've seen such a difference in my education, being able to connect with my professors, understanding what my peers need and what I need in the classroom, and they just really give me that back and forth, just really understanding how we need to succeed in this type of classroom setting, which is really awesome. I've even gotten jobs from my professors in and outside of my major, so just being able to really portray what exactly I want has been really helpful. Other than that, I've actually had a class in this room, and we had only 14 people in it, so you can see that there's a big difference in how many desks there are as opposed to the amount of people that are actually in here, which is funny. So it's just understanding like what types of classes we have here. We also have Samsung technology in each of the rooms, like I mentioned earlier. So in here, there's going to be like a pull-down screen. You can come use the technology whenever you need. They even have microphones, so you can practice hearing yourself if you're doing some sort of presentation. But any of these rooms are accessible for any of the types of things that you're going to do. Yeah, so now you can head outside. So right now, before we leave this building, I'm just going to talk briefly about our career center that we have in here. Basically, this is going to be a great resource for you while you're here on campus and also while you're an alumni here, which is really awesome. We have a program called Handshake, which basically their motto is once a hawk, always a hawk. So basically, you'll be able to have lots of different resources online. It's kind of like LinkedIn for Roger. That's just what I say usually. Basically, there's tons of different resources giving you access to different businesses that we have connections to, maybe some alumni that you want to get in contact with. Maybe you're an alumni and you want to change the field that you're in. You're like, oh, I'm not really sure who to contact. That's a great way for you to get into some sort of community that you're interested in or some sort of business, anything like that, so you see what you may need to portray to them that you're more interested in something else, which is really awesome. And on there, they have lots of different great resources for maybe internships, externships, maybe some sort of experience that you may want to have. All of that's on there as well. In the office specifically, they even have mock interviews, resume building, even dining etiquette programs that they have for our students. But those are all great resources that you'll be able to take care of while you're here on campus. You're going to get some sort of advisor from your major, and they'll be able to talk you through what you may need to do after you leave this university to get the job that you want. While here on campus, we also have lots of different career fairs, and sometimes we even split them up for different schools. So we even have some for the business school and for the marine and natural sciences school. I know for me, for education, we have a career fair coming up that we're able to meet tons of different educators in parts of Rhode Island, maybe parts of Massachusetts. That helps us to understand how to portray ourselves when we're looking for a certain job, certain teaching position, all of those different types of things. So as a university, they've really prepared us for those types of steps through this career center. All right, now we're heading towards South Campus. On your right side, we're going to have our Intercultural Center. This is going to be our introduction to South Campus. Basically in there, if you're interested in any types of multicultural student affairs, LGBTQ plus services, spiritual life, any of those things, we have lots of different officers and different clubs that are outside in that center. So we also have our own kitchen in there, which is open for any students as well. So it's just a great resource on our campus. And that's, like I said, our introduction to South Campus. So where we're walking right now is towards everything freshman. So basically everything outside of the dining hall and your classes is all going to be over here. So your residence halls, your health services, all of those things are going to be on this side of campus. What's right behind us is actually Maple Hall. It's going to be one of the first residence halls you'll be able to live in. Mostly freshmen at the moment. There are some sophomores in here, but basically the way it's going to work, the way it's set up, is treehouse style. So every time you leave a set of stairs, you're going to go straight into our common areas. Off of the common area, you're going to have certain platforms. We call them branches of rooms. They're usually going to be gender selected. Those branches are going to have usually like 3 rooms or so that you're going to share a bathroom with on each platform. And then off of there, it's going to separate into different hallways where other RAs are going to be, more residential rooms, everything like that. Laundry facilities will be on the bottom floor, and you may have to walk outside to get to those set of staircases. But other than that, every residence hall is going to have laundry facilities. Laundry is actually $150 per wash and dry, and you can load it onto your Roger Williams card, so you can just swipe it every time you go to pay for laundry. But other than that, this is mostly what Maple Hall is going to look like. At the end of Maple Hall, we also have another resource that you'll be able to have on our campus. Basically, it's our Q-Track, our Queer and Trans Resource and Advocacy Center. There's be different clubs in here, including the Women's Collective. We are going to have Femme Society and a bunch of different things that you can access while here on campus. Obviously, there's be lots of different resources in here for our students, but it's just another great way to show that our campus is open to anyone here. All right, so as we're heading this way, we're going to stop in Cedar Hall. It's going to be another freshman residence hall. It's actually going to be our largest one, and all freshmen live in this residence hall. There are 5 floors. The first 4 are going to be mostly singles, doubles, and temporary triples, which I'll talk about later. The 5th floor is quads, but they're built to be that size. Basically, we're just going to head inside. We're going to check out the showroom, the South Campus lounge, all of those different types of things that you'll have access to. So right now we are in our showroom in our Cedar Hall. Basically, this is going to be a double-sized room. What I usually say is everything wood in the room comes in the room. So your desk, your chair, your bed, all of those things are going to come here with your room. We also have a pull-out drawer underneath one of the beds, and that's going to be accessible for both of you as well. In this residence hall, the armoire set in here is going to be attached to the wall. In other ones, you may have a closet, you may have something you can move around the room, but anything like that is going to be accessible for the students, and I'll have the same amount of space in here. Other things I like to talk about are going to be the micro fridge that's actually in front of you. Basically, every Rogers student has the accessibility to have a micro fridge. Basically, they place in the room when you get here, and they take it out when you leave. Due to Rhode Island Standard fire codes, you can't have a microwave and a fridge not connected, so that's why we offer it to you here. And you can rent it for a certain price. When you get here, you can split it with your roommate. I always did this. I just thought it was super easy to have right in your room, just so you can use whenever you need it. 42% of students also do get a water view, so as you can see, this one's actually pretty good. There's no leaves or anything out right now, so it's pretty nice. But even as a transfer student, I got a room with a gorgeous view of the bridge, so you never know what you're going to get, which is pretty nice. And something else I talk about in here is going to be roommates. So even if you're not sure what you want to do with roommates, if you want to do the roommate questionnaire, or if you want to connect with someone on Facebook, we have lots of different options for you. So we do have a new platform where you're able to connect with different students, maybe talk to them, try to figure out, oh, like I want to message this person, really like to get to know them. You can get to know some of the students here before they even come here, which is really cool, and you can meet roommates that way. Or you can just take our roommate questionnaire, which is what most students do, is just ask you a few questions, asking you maybe what time you go to bed, when you listen to music, when you study, all those different types of things help to match you up with the perfect roommate for you. I did this when I came to this university, and it was really helpful for me. Me and my roommate got along really well. She's a year older than me, so we're not in the same friend group, but that's fine because you never have to be in the same friend group as your roommate, anything like that. As long as it works out really well for the both of you, that's what we're here to do. And someone goes through and hand selects those roommates for you, so it's not like it's just an online system. They are able to match who is going to work well together. If there's any differences in the system, anything like that, we're here to help. So all those different types of things are set for you. All right, so right now we are in South Campus Lounge, so this is going to be an area for any students to come in through until around 10 p.m. throughout the weekdays. So if I came into this building, I could walk in, hang out in this area over here. There's pool tables, things like that, and the other parts of it. If I can come into this area until 10 p.m., hang out with my friends, all that stuff. But after that, all of the lights entering this building are going to go red. So all the scanners like this one right against the wall are going to go red. That means I can't come into the building unless I live in this building, and that's how it's going to work all of our campus and all of their residence halls as well. That's just really important for us to know, so we know that we're really safe on our campus, making sure that all our students feel safe in their residence halls, everything like that. But other than that, this area is something that we really like to take care of. There's lots of different games and things like that the students like to play, and we have different areas like this in each residence hall as well, which is really nice for our students. Other than that, the actual layout of this residence hall is important as well. It's kind of like long hallway style. So the way it works, every time you enter a hallway, it's going to be gendered by door. So what that means is that you're going to have maybe a boys' room, a girls' room, and you're going to separate by door as well. Each one is going to have different bathrooms, so girls and boys bathrooms with plenty of sinks, stalls, showers, everything you're going to need. And we also have gender-neutral bathrooms in this residence hall as well. Like I said, there are 5 floors in this building, so there's be lots of students on each floor as well, and there's 2 RAs per floor as well. So you're going to have one down one hallway, and then further down there's another hallway that leads to another set of residence rooms as well. All right, so before we move on, I'm just going to talk about another one of the residence halls to be able to live in as a freshman. It's going to be Willow Hall. It's a little bit further down the hill over there. The way it works is it's townhouse style. So if you can see that large brown building down there, separated into 4 townhouses. The way it works, each one has 3 floors, and they're gender selective floors. So you're going to have maybe boys, boys, or girls, girls. Just depends on the layout of the class that you're going to have. Basically, each floor is going to have around 4 rooms. Each one is probably going to be a double, maybe a single thrown in there, and each one has its own bathroom as well. So it's 3 bathrooms per townhouse. And each townhouse also has an RA, so a residential assistant, so then each one is going to be guided by that person as well. There's lots of different townhouses in that little section of Willow, which is really cool. And then on the inside, you're going to have like a court area with these blue tables on the inside, if you could see. And there's going to be areas to do homework. You can hang out with your friends, maybe play Frisbee, community. I got to know a lot of people in Willow when I was a freshman here, and it was really cool just to be able to get to know the whole building as opposed to Cedar. Maybe it's like long hallways, so you have lots of different options when you're coming to campus. My favorite part about Willow is there's also back doors to some of the rooms that you can go right out into our little bay where there's a bunch of rocks, where there's a nice area to like hang out, do anything you want like with your friends right underneath the bridge, which is pretty cool. But that's Willow Hall. But then other than that, before we move on to anything else, I'm just going to talk about our Center for Student Development that's on this side over here. Basically there you're going to have lots of different things that you're going to need. That's probably anything outside your room, and food is all going to be in there. So health services, you're going to have counseling services, you're going to have residence life. There's so many different things in there that I could talk about. First, I'm going to talk about health services. Basically, there's going to be doctors there 3 days a week, nurses there 5 days a week. And if you ever need a prescription from CVS, maybe on the regular or anything like that, they can also deliver it here to campus for you. Other times you can leave campus where you have the accessibility to do so as well. If you get sick on the weekends, they are even going to have public safety be able to drive you maybe to the nearest urgent care, or they can get an Uber or anything else for you so you can get to the nearest hospital. Any things that they can provide for you is what they're going to do, which is really great. And there I also said they have counseling services, so say you need some sort of therapy or maybe you need couples therapy, anything like that, we offer all of those services for you as well, all in that building. So any extra resources will most likely be in there. All right, so before we move on, I'm just going to talk briefly about transportation. So as a freshman on campus, you cannot have a car, but don't worry, there's going to be so many different resources that we have for you here. One of them is going to be Zip Cars, which is right behind me. Basically, we have a few cars on our campus that you'll have access to if you sign up for the online service. Zipcar itself is going to send you a key that'll work for one of our cars here, and you get to take it for a certain time, day, out, basically everything like that. I know a lot of students that had this on campus as freshmen, but after that, it just depends on when you really need it. I know some friends that took it out, maybe go to Newport, or some people that took it home for the weekend, but it's just an extra resource that we have available to you. We have other ways of transportation as well on our campus. We have a shuttle system that actually goes in and around campus every 10-15 minutes while classes are in session, which is really nice for our students. So say you're running late, maybe you're like, oh, I have class in 10 minutes, I'm at Willow Hall and I have to get all the way to the business building. It can drop you off where you need to go. Other shuttles basically go off campus. So we have a shuttle that goes into downtown Bristol as well. It stops at the CVS every time it goes around, goes to Stop and Shop once a week, and then it goes in and around Bristol, which is really nice for our students that live off campus or at our Almeida apartments, which I'll talk about. But basically, even if you want to get off anywhere along that line, you could go right into downtown Bristol, go to some of the coffee shops, maybe get some lunch with your friends, or if you just need to go to CVS, you have all of those things accessible to you for free, which is really nice. During that shuttle service, like I said, we have Almeida, which is our Almeida apartments. Basically, it's an off-campus living area for our upperclassmen students, such as sophomores, juniors, seniors. I lived there my sophomore year, and I lived in an apartment with 2 other girls. We had our kitchen, we had a living area, we had a double-sized room, but we had 3 of us living in there, and it was absolutely huge for our room, which was really nice. And then we also had our own balcony, which was really cool. So I was able to experience that off-campus living apartment style thing, but while still being a part of campus, which is really cool. And I didn't have to drive to campus ever, which was really nice. I just took the shuttle every single day. And then we also have another residence hall that's actually over our bridge. It's called Bay Point, and basically our sophomores live there, or a good amount of them do as well. So basically there's double-sized rooms over there. It's basically Roger away from Roger. They have full-size beds, and they have their own bathrooms in their room, which is super nice. People come and clean them. And they also have their own dining hall. They have a gym, and they have like a small area that's kind of like a library type of feel, and it's such a nice area for them to hang out, do homework, things like that. And they also have the shuttle that goes over there every 30 minutes while class is in session. We also have the RIPTA, which is the Rhode Island Bus Transportation Service. And as a student here, basically you're going to get a $1 10 card pass. Usually it's $2.75 one way, another $2.75 to come back wherever you're traveling. But basically here you have that $1 10 card pass, so you can get on, go to Newport, maybe you can go to Providence, and there's 2 stops right at the top of our campus, and you get off anywhere along that line, which is really nice. So you can just walk up our hill right up to the stops. You use your $1 card, and then you should be set for a bunch of rides, which is really nice. A lot of people like to get off campus during the weekend sometimes. Obviously there's lots to do here, but when it's really nice out, some people just want to travel a little bit, and that's a great way to do that while you're on campus. Right behind me is our visual arts building. We call it the muffin here because it basically looks like a muffin. Basically, if you're going to be taking any drawing, painting, sculpture classes, maybe ceramics, anything like that, it could be in this building. If you're in that major, maybe you're in the graphic design major, or maybe your architecture, you could have classes in here as well. This building is open for 24/7 for our students, so if you have that key card access, that's really essential for these students to get as much work done as they can. And also a fun fact about this building, it also used to be our dining hall. So you'll get to see how many changes we've made over campus. All right, so before we move on, I'm just going to talk about our last residence hall. It's going to be accessible for our freshmen here. It's going to be Stonewall Terraces, which is right over there. There's 4 sets of these residence halls, and all of them are going to be suite style. Each one has 3 floors, and each floor has 4 suites, and they're gender selected. So you're going to have a suite of like 6 rooms maybe with different bathrooms, usually 2 showers, 2 sinks, 2 stalls, the whole deal. And each residence hall also has laundry facilities on the bottom floor. My favorite part about Stonewall was the study rooms inside. So say it's like a rainy day, kind of like today, and you don't feel like leaving your room. Basically, you can go into there, study, do any of the homework you need while being actually away from your room, which is pretty nice. You get away from all those distractions. And another part of Stonewall that's crucial is actually our honors community. So say you are a freshman that got into the honors community here, that's awesome, and you'll be living in our living learning community on our campus. And basically, all of those honors students live together for their first freshman year, and then have a classroom down there so you could like roll out of bed and just go to class some days, which is awesome, and they get to communicate with all those students. We do have living learning communities on our campus, which is important to note. So say you're in a specific major like architecture or business or political science, we do have certain living learning communities where students are able to all live together within that major for usually during their freshman year, and it can also happen after, but it's awesome for them to be able to get to know each other, get to know someone that's interested in something they're interested in, take some classes together, do some homework together, which is really awesome, and you can participate that as a freshman. You can also make your own living learning community as you go on through sophomore, junior year, just depends on what you're trying to do, but basically we have lots of opportunities to live with people that you're interested in the same thing, get to go to classes together, homework together, which I find really interesting. So there's lots of ways to do that on our campus. Right now I'm going to talk about College of Arts and Sciences, which is right behind me. In this school there are tons of different majors, minors, actually schools within itself here. We have our School of Justice Studies, which is a huge program here on our campus that includes criminal justice, forensic sciences, cybersecurity, we got legal studies. There's so many different things right in this school right here. They even have a 4+1 criminal justice undergraduate to master's program, which is really crucial here for our students, and lots of different people that are in our justice studies program, like professors and other professionals, actually work in the field right now. So all the students that are in here are getting extremely current research done, which is awesome. So they're able to see what's going on in the field today and then get that experience outside of the classroom as well. Other than that, in this school, there's going to be some music labs, other specific professors, things like that for certain fields, maybe certain majors, minors, things like that. And we usually don't go into this building on campus just because it's lots of classrooms, things like that. There's also a grab and go station for like coffee, all those different things that our students may want that you can use your hot dogs with throughout the day. But it's just another regular campus building with classrooms, things like that. So right now we're in Archibelli School of Business, and there's going to be lots of different majors, minors, different important resources for our students in our business school here. We have lots of different majors, minors that you can mix and match. So some of them include accounting, finance, economics, management, international business, marketing. I'm definitely missing a few, but there's so many that you can mix and match with while you're here on campus. Even as a freshman student, you will have to take a business enterprise course that will help you understand different areas of business, which is really important for our students here. So that's going to have you basically create a business plan. You're going to create it with all your other peers and your professor as well to basically touch upon different aspects of business. So you can touch upon the accounting part, but also the economics part. And maybe you're like, oh, I'm a management major, but I'm not absolutely sure if I love it. I kind of like the accounting side more. Or like, oh, like I really like the marketing side. I'm going to add it as a minor. There's lots of ways that you're able to figure out like what parts of aspects of business you really like within that class, which is really awesome for our students. Other than that, I'd like to mention that our school is actually AACSB accredited, which means that we are ranked top 5% internationally for our business program here. So along with that accreditation, our students are able to get great resources from our professors, great resources outside of here once they leave, and it's just a great way to know that our business school here is one of the best in the world, which is really awesome for our students. With that, we also have a 4+1 administration program that I like to talk about. It was just introduced a few years ago, and basically our students that graduate here also have the opportunity to go into a 1-year business administration program as a master's. You'd have to apply into the program, and basically you would stay here for another year, finishing all that up to get your master's. I think it's a really, really great idea for our students to do that because a lot of businesses and programs are really looking for that master's degree in specifics as to what you may want to do. So say you're interested in administration, here's a great way to get that done. Right behind me, we also have our Stocio lab. I know it's a little dark right now, but basically inside we each have lots of different Samsung technology. We even have a stock board, a different time clock back there. So there's lots of different resources while students are in class because it's actually a classroom, which is really cool for our students. But now we're just going to head this way to go check out a few other resources that we have here. So right now, while we're in this part of the business school, I'm just going to talk about our CAFE program. It's our Center for Advanced Financial Education. It's actually right behind us. Any students that are going to apply to this program have to be a junior or senior and most likely a finance major. Some other majors can apply into it as well, but mostly what you're going to be doing is be working with money for the stocks. These students also get lots of different study abroad experiences as well. They're able to present their research in different parts of the world because of how well known we are, and then also because of the way that they present their stocks that they've done in the past. We're well known throughout the world for our programs here, like I said earlier, so they're actually able to go lots of different places. So last year they went to Tokyo, this year they've been to Dubai, the New York Stock Exchange, they went to Canada, and they presented their research in all of those different types of places, basically of what they found, how they lost or gained money, all of those different types of things. So right now we're in a School of Engineering, Construction Management, and Computer Science. For engineering, we're going to have civil, mechanical, computer, and electrical engineering. And we also have custom-based engineering programs now as well, like environmental engineering, different things that you can mix and match to create that engineering specific for you. We also have construction management and computer science. Our construction management is accredited by ACCE, which lets our students basically hold our construction management major at a higher standard. And then also our ABET, which is for engineering and computer science. ABET allows our students for specifically engineering to sit for the fundamentals of engineering exam, which allows you to become a licensed engineer, which is really important for a lot of our students here. And computer science is actually the only accredited program in the state of Rhode Island for that major through ABET. So that's really important for our students here. So if you're really interested in that, here's a great place to come because you know that you'll be able to get great jobs, be recognized for your work here at Roger Williams, which is awesome. There's lots of different specific things that we have going on in this building as well. Obviously, all of your major classes are going to be in here. Behind us, we actually have one of our construction management project centers, which is where a lot of the times our professors are working with our students to create and design different projects that they're working on in their classes. And other areas in here, we mostly have lecture halls, things like that. But something really important to know is that we also have our new engineering lab space that we're going to go check out briefly. We're going to stand outside so we'll be able to see it. But basically, we have lots of different resources within here and our lab space as well for our students. So right now we are standing outside our new lab space for our School of Engineering, Construction Management, Computer Science, which is really awesome for our students. Currently, we still have our off-campus area, which was used for our students to create different designs that they had to use, of where most of our materials are, everything like that. But now we've brought it on campus for our students. They actually built it within a year. I saw it come from the ground up, and now it's been open for only 2 months or so, which is really awesome. All the labs in here have a bunch of new materials that they're going to need, specific things for their capstone projects, and they have a fluid mechanics lab. We even have a full-size crane in here for our construction management student. Lots of different specific areas for engineering or computer science, everything like that. There's lots of different hangout spaces, places where they can do homework, get to talk to professors, things like that, which is really crucial. And there's all these different lab spaces that our students have access to as well, which is awesome for our students. All right, so right now we are actually standing in the middle of campus. Our campus is only 1 mile long, going from maybe where we were currently at Willow to where maybe all the way towards the North Campus Residence Hall, everything like that, which is really nice to know that our campus is pretty small for our students when you're going from class to your residence room or anything like that, which is really great. Even in this area, we call this our academic quad. So we are currently surrounded by almost all of the academic buildings on our campus, which is really important. So say you need to go from M&S to the engineering building in 10 minutes in between classes, you'll get there on time with even some time to spare, which is really awesome. So you don't have to worry about having to run across campus, getting to other classes, anything like that. While we're standing here, I'd just like to talk about our statue of Roger Williams as well. He's the founder of the state of Rhode Island, fought for separation of church and state, and he's actually the namesake of our school. We actually had no idea what he looked like because he was pretty hated during his time because of what he's done. But this is a representation of him, and it's Benjamin Franklin's body with Ted Williams' face. So it's pretty funny, but it's just nice to know we have that on our campus. Now we're going to go this way. So right now we are in our library, and obviously there's going to be lots of different resources in this building that's going to be really crucial for our students here. I like to talk about the floors first. So we actually have 3 floors here. This floor that we're currently on is our group work floor, usually our loudest, where our students are doing homework together, maybe group studying, everything like that. As you go up to your second floor, it's going to be a little bit quieter. We actually just got a whole bunch of new furniture upstairs, so our students are able to move the tables, desks around. You're going to have movable whiteboards, things like that your students can do, maybe practice problems, or maybe even writing notes, things like that, which is really helpful, but more movable furniture at a lower volume for our students to focus in. And you also have the third floor. Basically, if you open a chip bag up there, you're getting thrown out. Really, really quiet up there, but basically great to see how our areas are different for the students that need to maybe study in louder areas as opposed to completely silent. So it's really awesome. Per floor, we have lots of different resources as well. So actually on my left side, we have our media tech desk. Basically that's going to be there if you need any extra help with technology, say maybe getting onto your Bridges account, which is where all of our classes are, or maybe you need help with your email or setting up a TV in your room. Any of those things they'll be able to help you out with. We also have our reference desk. Basically, this is where our librarians are. They're going to be there if maybe you need a book from here, another school, maybe you need access from our databases, anything like that, they'll be able to help you with. Say you have a specific research topic and you need to be able to go to them and be like, I don't know where to start. If you give them the topic, they can give you a bunch of different resources, which is really great. As we head further towards this way on our floor, we also have our printers. We actually have $30 worth of printing money loaded onto your card every year while you're here as a student, which is really awesome. And then you can use that for printing. So printing itself is only 7 cents per black and white, 13 cents per color per page, which is really awesome. So even if you're really up late writing a paper, say it's a Wednesday night and you're up until midnight, you're like, oh my gosh, I really have to go print it. You'll have the ability to come print it here at that time, even because the library itself is usually open till 2 a.m. during the weekdays, which is really awesome, 7:30 to 2 a.m. So those hours are really good for our students. And with the accessibility of printing, you won't even have to bring your own printer here because of what we have. Then down there we also have our student accessibility services, so you have a learning difference, or maybe you break your hand, you get a concussion, anything like that. If you need extra services, maybe on taking a test, or maybe you need a scribe, any of those things are professionals can help you out with over there. They have their own testing center back there with different computers, different desks that you can do handwritten tests with, but your professor will know about any of those accommodations that you may need, and they'll be able to help you out with any of those services. As you go up to the second floor, there's going to be 2 other main offices up there. One of them is going to be counseling and peer mentorship. Basically, if you come in undeclared or change your major, you're going to get some sort of basically advisor upstairs in counseling. And they're going to be able to help you talk through what you may be interested in, maybe have you take personality tests, anything like that to help you figure out what classes make sense for you and what direction you want to go in. And then we also have our peer mentors up there. Every freshman does get their own peer mentor, probably be a group of you, maybe 10 or more students that they'll get to know, walk you around to your classes, everything like that. But they're going to be another friendly face on campus for you as you get to know the community here. But other than that, could be really helpful for resources you may need. So say maybe you need to sign up for classes, or maybe you need to make an appointment at health services. Anything that you can ask them for before going to any other larger person on campus is something that they'll be there for you with, which is really awesome. And they're also going to have our tutoring center upstairs. Basically, we have math, writing, and science specifically up there, all free services as well. Basically, every time you go upstairs, you're going to be able to swipe in for your specific class and professor, which is really nice. So they get a direct notification that we're there working hard on maybe something you were struggling in, getting extra help, anything like that. The students that work up there are really awesome, and they really know how to help us at the student level, which is really cool. I used to go up there all the time for science. It's something I've always struggled in, but even some professors are like, go upstairs to the writing center to go get 5 extra points. Like, just being able to do that sort of thing just shows your professors that we're really working hard and what we need to succeed in their classes. And we offer all those things basically in this building, which is really helpful for our students. All right, so right now we are outside of our School of Architecture, Art History, and Historic Preservation. Those 3 majors are what it's going to consist the school of. There's lots of different important spaces in here. You're going to have your studio space, you're going to have major classrooms, all of that different type of stuff. Our architecture school is actually covered by the NAB accreditation, which holds our students at the accountability to be a licensed architect, which is really important for them. So while you're looking at other schools, or while we want you to look here, basically recognize that we have that accreditation for you to be a licensed architect. In our school, we also have studio spaces for all of our students that you'll be able to look at. Basically, each student gets their own space with their own Samsung monitor. You're going to get a certain amount of tools through that program as well. And each student is going to be able to create everything they need for their lab, which is their studio time, basically, where they're able to design, create projects, everything like that with their professors. Our architecture program is actually a really competitive program. You need a portfolio to enter, and basically it's going to be really rigorous as well. If you would like, we also have a 4+1.5/2-year master's program. So if you decide to stay and continue at our university during that time, we have a master's program here, which is really awesome for our students. Really important for them because they already know lots of the different professors that are in here and are able to engage in that for the next couple of years as they continue on, which is really cool. All right, so right now we are in Commons. It's gonna be our last stop on campus, but basically all food, best for last, obviously. Basically, there's gonna be lots of things I'm gonna talk about in here, but first I'm just gonna talk about your meal plans as a freshman. So basically, when your first semester, freshman year, you're going to have an unlimited meal plan. What that means is that you'll actually be able to swipe upstairs right here in Upper Commons, which is basically just our regular dining hall, whenever you want, for as long as you want. Just maybe to grab an apple, maybe you're gonna sit here for a few hours with your friends, is what I've done freshman year. But basically it's gonna be buffet style, so you can stay here, grab whatever you want, grab whatever you need for as long as you wanna stay, which is really nice. So you can come here like 4 times a day, you can come here once a day, whatever you wanna do. With that, you're going to have 125 Hawk dollars. I've been mentioning them along our way here on campus. Basically, you can grab maybe food at the Hawk's Nest. Maybe you want to get something at the Starbucks. There's a Chipotle, like one in the law building. There's so many different areas for you to grab and go food, which is really nice, and you can use those Hawk dollars with that. So those 125 Hawk dollars are going to upload each semester, so your first semester and second semester, and that's really important so that you can just know that it's always going to be there for you. After your first semester of freshman year, you can actually change your meal plan, and you can change it to whatever you want. So there's a ton of different options that you're going to be able to have access to. An example of what I actually had last semester, I had a 7 to 8 week meal plan. What that meant is I was able to swipe upstairs and upper commons once a day, and then I had 400 Hawk dollars. So it really varies for what you need, which is really awesome. Something I really love about the school and helpful, just because I'm pretty on the go. You never know what you're going to need per semester. So if you really need to change it up, that's a really great way to do that here. Other than that, our food here is really, really good. We rank top 5% students surveyed throughout the country at different colleges and universities. So what that means is that they've basically surveyed people all over the country, and we consistently rank top 5%, which I've always loved here. Our program here is Bon Appetit, and their motto is farm to table. Basically, they get about 30% of their food from less than 150 miles off of our campus, which is really crucial to our students here. So it's all locally grown, fresh farm food, which is something I've really liked. Coming from another university here, it's really important to try the food wherever you go, and it's really awesome that we have really great food here, which is really nice. And we have lots of different options up here as well that you'll be able to check out if you come to campus, or I can just talk about a bunch of different things that we have as well. So you're going to have your main area of basically breakfast, lunch, dinner. They're going to have a sandwich bar. You're going to have a basically classics bar, which is kind of like your french fries, onion rings, all that different type of stuff you're going to want all the time. We also have a global station, which is kind of like a stir-fry station that you can make your own thing. And then in the morning, they also do make your own egg or omelet. They also have a Senor Hawk station, which is kind of like a make your own Chipotle, which is like burritos, quesadillas, tacos, all that stuff. Obviously, they have a bunch of different types of events throughout the year as well. My favorite is late night breakfast. So during maybe midterms and finals, they're going to do late night breakfast, which is like where all like the high ups in the school, like the president, the vice president, the provost, all those people are going to come serve you like breakfast like late at night while you're studying for stuff, which is really awesome. I've always loved that one. They also do a bunch of different things for holidays, different events on campus, which is really cool. They all even have like a steak and lobster night. They do fun things for seniors as well. So you never know what you're going to get, but they have really, really great fun things going on all the time for our students. All right, so right now I'm going to talk about Lower Commons and our Barnes & Noble bookstore that's at the lower area of the Commons building that we're in right now. Lower Commons would be a great place for you to use that grab-and-go type of money that I talked about, our Hawk dollars. Basically, it's going to be everything that we have upstairs but downstairs. So you're going to have sandwiches, you're even going to have a sushi, you're going to have like a grill, which is like hamburgers, hot dogs. You're going to get like those fun sandwiches like grilled cheese, things like that. We even have a salad bar down there, pizza, and you can even get every flavor of Ben & Jerry's you can think of in our fridge downstairs as well. And like I said, you can use your Hawk dollars there. And the fun part about it, it's also open till 12 a.m. during the weekdays and 2 a.m. on the weekends, which is really nice. So say you and your friends are studying late during the weekdays, and maybe you guys are hanging out pretty late, maybe watching a movie, you can grab some food here, which is really awesome for our students. And it's really good down here as well. And we also have our Barnes & Noble bookstore to my right. Basically all of our apparel, all of our spirit, all that stuff is in there as well. But we get all of our books through Barnes & Noble, which is an important thing to notice. Basically you can sign up online to order your books from there. You plug in all your classes. They give you a specific list of all the books you're going to need. You can send them here to campus and just pick them up. And a nice part about it is that we also have an Amazon price match system. So say you did research on Amazon or Chegg or something like that, and you found something cheaper than what we had here, you can just bring in that paper and they'll give you some money back on whatever you're going to be saving, which is really nice for our students. But it's easy because it's really accessible. You can just pick it up and walk back to your room, so you don't have to worry about it like coming in the mail, everything like that. All right, so thank you guys for joining me on this virtual tour today. I'm happy to show you everything on campus here, and I hope you guys got a good amount of information based on this tour. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us through email. There's going to be an online forum for you guys to check out as well to talk to some of our students here. But I really enjoyed showing you guys around campus today. I absolutely love this campus. It feels like second home for me. Even as a transfer student, I got to be a part of this community so much, and I'm actually really sad to leave it eventually. And I just love being here on campus, and I hope you guys get that feel from this video as well. So thank you guys for joining me.